Adrian Guzman.
And I am Rolando Sotto Jr.
And we are the critical thinkers. Readers does not just read without understanding what he has read.
Also, a reader does not just agree with what the author said in his or her article.
And lastly, readers does not and will never let his emotions and feelings to affect his or her own discretion towards accepting facts and opinions.
And that is what a critical reader is made of.
Through critical reading, critical thinking is also applied. And with the ability of oneself to think critically, a deep understanding between the information and the reader is formed. Also, with oneself ability to think critically, open-mindedness of a person is sharpened and used for him to be able to evaluate evidences with intellectual rigor and fair decision.
Critical thinking is a skill wherein oneself goes beyond basic and he or she finds more sources. He is finding many resources because a critical thinker finds if the source that he has found is a fact or opinion.
And I'm not in doubt that some of us here are quite curious about how we're going to acquire some of these skills. And to tell you honestly, our wait is over. Let us now proceed with the 6 techniques of how we can acquire these skills of being critical.
There are six techniques in applying critical thinking skills. The first technique is recognizing dubious claims. But what are dubious claims? Dubious claims are claims or statements that are very undoubtful. There are 3 types, namely anecdotes, testimonials, and opinions. First, you should reject anecdotes because there is no verification if this is a fact. For example, in the past, many people believe that during full moon, the crime mortality and birth rate increases. But researchers found that full moon doesn't affect the crime mortality and birth rate. But still, you can use anecdotes in your speech to add up additional insights and interest for your audience. But be sure, you should not use anecdotes as a fact in your speech. Then, the testimonials. Testimonials are given by someone for a thing, a product, or an action. Testimonials are also not facts. For example, a businessman made a website that sells warts remover. There are consumers that testify that this wart remover is very good because it removed their warts in a short period of time. But the study proved that warts can be removed alone without treating it. So, like anecdotes, you should not accept testimonials as a fact in your speech. But still, you can also use it to add up additional insights. Then, opinions. We all know that opinions are also not facts. If an opinion has no verification, it is worthless. So, we should also not use it in our speech to testify as a fact. Then, the second technique. The second technique is finding more than one source. You should find many sources because if you found only one source, this source may lead you wrong. For example, a couple is arguing about in which way you should inhale or exhale during lifting weights. The husband told his wife that you should inhale when lifting weights because that is what he found on the library. But the wife argued and said to his husband that you should exhale during lifting because that is what she found on the internet. Then the husband went back into the library. He found out that the book was 10 years published, 10 years ago. So, because of this, you should find many sources to prove if the one you found is a good source or not. Then, the third technique is examine opposing viewpoints. When you are searching for your speech or a topic, you are finding many sources in order to eliminate the error in technique number 2, that you should never just accept one information. For example, there is a saying that in a business, a couple that works together can produce more income, but there's on the negative side that if you are a couple and you are working together in a business, there are many negative effects of it. In your speech, you are on the positive side of working couples. And because of that, you are only searching for the positive sides and the positive effects. But it is an error that you are only looking for the positive sides. You should also look for the negative sides. To give your audience a balanced picture of your speech, you should give the positive side and the negative side. If you are having a problem in the negative side that can overcome your speech and give objections, you should make your speech that can overcome those objections. And that's the third technique. Examine opposing viewpoints. So, the other 3 techniques will be discussed by Adrian Guzman.
Let's now proceed to the next 3 techniques of how we're going to think critically. The third technique was be cautious in polls. Why did I say so? Because polls can give us 2 discrepancies. One of these is some people do not answer honestly when they are asked by pollster. It is because once a poll question rather, is not in favor to that person whom being asked, then the person that will honestly answer that question will have shortcomings and will accept his shortcomings. Therefore, for him or for her not to accept shortcomings, he will lie to the pollster who asked the question to him or to her. Next, people base their answers to the questions that was asked by the pollster. An example of this is that do you favor that America will give foreign aid to some foreign countries who are in need? And we cannot deny that some people or persons do have misconception about foreign aids. And also myself do have misconceptions about foreign aids, because when someone says foreign aids, there are some hidden agendas that is involved from the foreign country to give that foreign aid. Therefore, I will say no to that question. And once a pollster rephrased that question to, do you favor that America will give some of his money to the foreign country who are in need? And of course, when it comes to money talks, people always says yes. Am I right? I hope for your agreement for that.
Yes.
Yes. That's good. Next technique we have, beware of the fallibility of experts. We all know that experts are professionals, and they are professional in a way that they know the topic where they are concerned. And despite that, experts are professional, but still they are humans, and they will commit mistakes. And for us critical thinkers, we must beware of those mistakes, because they may lead us to wrong information and will destroy whatever topic we are concerned to. Next, and the last thing is that we need to be aware of those groups which have misleading names. There was this case in America that states that US government forced women and pregnant women to not eat fishes which are mercury infected because they might affect the process of giving birth. And of course, fishing industries was concerned because their fishing business was affected and becomes weak. Because of that, they have planned to counteract that actions that were taken by the US government. And that's why they built this coalition called Healthy Mothers, Healthy Baby Coalition Group. And with further investigation, US government had learned that these coalitions were financed by fishing industries, which means that, and also this coalition urged women to eat fishes that were accused that infected by mercury. And with this, we can conclude that the fishing industries is just making a plan for counteracting the action that was taken by the government.
So, to give you a recap, the 6 techniques in applying critical thinking skills are: first, you should recognize the claims. Second, you should find more than one source. Then, you should examine opposing viewpoints. The fourth one is
be cautious of polls. And the fifth one is beware about the fallibility of experts. And the last one is beware of those groups with misleading names. An anonymous person has quoted that creative thinking should be looked at as an essential supplement, though not a replacement for critical thinking.
Which means that with great practice and precise decisions, in all of we do, we can all be great critical thinkers.
And also, the quotation means that we all can be creative in all our ways. But what does creativity mean if we don't think critically? And as what Mr. Rolando said, with great practice and precise decision, all of us can be great critical thinkers. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and thank you.